Good morning, Merry Christmas, Vadaina. We'll do the meditation first. Please relax and be comfortable. Relax your hands. Gently close the eyes. Breathe with the music. Make the breathing as subtle as possible. Very shallow. As if hardly any breath is coming in or out. As the carbon dioxide increases, feel the body becoming heavy. We'll move through the body very quickly. We'll start with the two legs. Move your attention in the two legs and relax the legs. From the toes and thumb to the thigh. Move your attention in the legs and relax the legs. Right leg, left leg. Check both the legs. Take your attention to the navel and relax the area below the navel, the lower abdomen. The area above the navel, the solar plexus. Try to sense a connection between the solar plexus and the perineum. There's an internal connection. Take your attention to the back. Move your attention through the back and relax the back, right side, left side. Move up and down the backbone as if the backbone is a hollow bamboo. Feel the whole back. Move to the chest, relax the chest. The two hands, from the fingers to the shoulder, right hand, left hand. Both the hands together. Relax the shoulders, right shoulder, left shoulder. Move your attention through the neck, relax the neck, the muscles of the neck, especially at the back. Relax the jawbone. We are usually holding the jawbone very tight. Relax the jawbone. The chin. The two lips, the upper lip, the lower lip, both the lips. Release the tongue, relax the tongue completely. Relax the top of the mouth. Feel the connection between the top of the mouth, the solar plexus, and the perineum. Relax the two cheeks. The two nostrils. Right ear. Left ear. The back of the head. Top of the head. Forehead, the eyes and around the eyes. There's a lot of tension around the eyes, so move your attention around the eyes and relax each and every small nerve and muscle. Hold your attention between the two eyebrows. Move through the body once again. If you find tension anywhere, relax it. Now we'll do a visualization. We are floating on the ocean. Feel the waves. You're floating on them. The waves are supporting you. Water is supporting you. There's hidden support in the element of water. Feel yourself floating on the waves. Now within this body, there's a body of sensitivity. Try to sense a subtle body within the body. It is more like water. It expands, contracts, takes different shapes, rises like a wave, falls down and again merges. It goes out of the body, it comes in the body. Sense a subtle body within the gross body, the physical body. If you sense it, just command it to move a little. Little bit of expansion, little bit of contraction. Just pure sensitivity. Now try to look at the screen of the mind. There is no thought at present. There is no verbal word at present. There is no feeling, just an empty screen of the mind. Make a picture in that screen, draw a picture in that screen. Remember some old image. Start some activity in that screen. Keep breathing with the music, as subtle as possible. Now allow the images to form, allow the story to form. Don't judge any image with like or dislike, just watch them. Don't run behind them, and don't stop them. Now try to enter into this make-up world of the mind, where all the images are interacting with one another, and feel yourself on the screen and feel yourself watching the screen. You are in the dream and you are also outside the dream. Try to sense two different eyes. You may hear sounds, images, sensations. Everything is coming from our deep memory patterns. Just observe them. Emotions may take different shapes, may even take animal shapes, scenery shapes, color shapes. Some may be whole, some may be fragments. Keep watching and try to see yourself experiencing it inside and yourself watching it from outside. Try to command the images. Tell one image to disappear. Let it dissolve into the emptiness of the background. Now slowly let all the images dissolve into the background, into the screen. On that screen now we will visualize the sun setting. The sun setting in the ocean, in the sea. You are sitting on the sand, feel the touch of the sand. Feel the cool breeze hitting your body. See the birds returning home from their daily chores. And the sun is setting. The sound of the sea the smell of the sea, and the red color in the sky. As the sun sets, darkness expands, the realm of darkness increases. Keep watching that darkness. It is not the darkness of deep night, of midnight. It is the darkness of twilight. So there's a small luminous light falling in that darkness. This is where everything begins and where everything ends. This is the playground of existence. All the worlds are created here and dissolve here. Just observe that darkness where everything moves in waves of darkness. Now slowly start to dissolve in that darkness. Become one with that darkness. Let go. We are pervaded by darkness, a light, luminous darkness. This is the home of the divine. Sense it, feel it, dissolve into it. Let nothing remain. Slowly we will come back. Start taking a few deep breaths. Feel the body. We are half awake. Now let's remain in this half awake state for 1 minute before waking up fully. Move your fingers of the hand and the toes on the feet a little. Feel the prana coming back in the body. And you can slowly open your eyes. Yesterday, we saw that Yoga-Nidra is the process of withdrawal where we move from the gross to the subtle. We move through the different realms of the mind, from the gross physical layer to the most subtle layer of the mental body. This capacity to withdraw, the power of withdrawing, in yoga it is known as Nidra. Attention is habituated to go out. Over thousands of years, it is since attention expressed itself in plants, in animals, they always responded to external stimuli. So this is nature. In nature, attention responds to external stimuli. Man is the only person who has the capacity to reverse the movement of attention. But this is his personal responsibility. Nature cannot do it for him. He has to make the effort on his own. This capacity to withdraw attention back into the source is known as Nidra. So Nidra is not just sleep. It is the capacity to go back to the source from which we came. And that is why it is called Yoga-Nidra, where you use that power, the power of Nidra, to reverse the natural habit of attention to go out and take it back within these sheaths. As we move within ourselves, within the, what you call the ocean of the mind, each level of, it is like going deep in the ocean. Here we are going higher in the ocean. Each level is vibrating at a different frequency. Experiences at each level will change. The quality of the dream will change at each level. The denser the body, the physical body, the slower the vibration, the slower the frequency. As we move from the physical to the etheric, the frequency becomes faster. The vibrations become faster. And when we reach the highest point of, which is beyond the mind, Mahakal, the big memory, the vibrations are the most subtle. There nothing can remain in form. Everything is formless. That is why we talk about it in waves only. Now, as we move through each body, there is a different experience of time and space. There is a different quality of dream. In the physical body, we experience time as linear time. It moves from birth to death. This is the movement of the physical body. Within the physical body, there are different processes. And most of these processes move in a kind of, one process leads to another thing, another leads to another, and it moves in a kind of linear process. In the physical body, we can remember the past, but we can't visualize, or we don't have the consciousness to see the whole cycle of life. And because we can only remember the past, for us, time is like a straight line where we move from past to the future. One event after another event. Now, the physical body has its own dreams. The first, the dreams which come first at night. Now, we'll just try to understand the sleep cycle. When we go to sleep at night, the brain which is making words, the verbal brain, starts going to sleep. Words fall into images, images form into what you call kind of mental imagery or pixels, dots, right? And we fall asleep. And in the first 5 minutes, we are in a kind of etheric sleep of the etheric body, right? And there are dreams of the etheric body. And then we go into a deeper sleep where there are dreams of the astral body. And then we go into a deeper sleep which are very deep sleep. And maybe there are higher dreams in that deep sleep, which today science cannot catch. It says you're in a state of deep sleep over there. Now, after the first 1 hour of deep sleep, which today science is saying has reduced in modern man, which should have been 1 hour, but now normal deep sleep has come down from 1 hour to 45 minutes. So people, instead of the first deep sleep, which is the most important in the night, people are now not able to sleep for 1 hour. They sleep for about 40 to 45 minutes. And I'm sure that as we grow older, this reduces to half an hour possibly. Then we come out of that deep sleep, we come back into the dream body, into the sleep of the astral world, and then the real first dream of the night happens. And this cycle repeats a couple of times in the night. So the first few dreams of the night are of the physical body. They're of the conscious mind. So, if he has insulted me in the day, I'll take some form of revenge or some form of image, and I'll release that pent-up anger which I've had, right? That his insulting me and the anger which I had inside has distorted the harmony of the etheric field, and the etheric field has what you call remembered that as a distortion in the electric current of the field, and it releases that distortion. In the dream, maybe I'll take revenge on somebody or something. And these are the beginning dreams of the night. They are not very important dreams, right? If somebody puts a wet cloth on my feet, then I may feel that, I'm swimming somewhere, right? If we are unhealthy, maybe feverish, then we'll get maybe chaotic kind of dreams. So problems in the physical body, blockages of energy in the physical body, what has happened in the whole day with my conscious action, with the conscious part of the mind, all that releases itself in the first dreams of the night. So physical discomfort creates its own dreams. Thank you. And these dreams can also be stimulated from outside, right? We can, by putting some sound or something, we can stimulate those dreams from outside. And in what you call where the research goes on, they do stimulate these kind of dreams from outside. I know from experience that when I go on a juice diet for 5 6 days, I go on only on juice, then I get dreams of wonderful food, and right. So yeah. So these dreams come in the night, right? Now, as we sense the pranic body, because the energy of sensitivity is always in the present moment, suddenly the past and the future cut off. And we are experiencing the pranic body. Now, try to understand the pranic body is sensations, right? It is not images. It is more like vibration. It is a kind of humming inside, a kind of expansion, contraction, floating, lightness, flying, right? There'll be pulsations in different part of the body. There is no dream which has a story. There is no dream which has images. In the pranic body, there are no images, no characters, no past, no future. So there is no sequential time in the pranic body. But its vibrations are much more subtle than the physical body. And it has a deep affinity with what is happening outside. So if suddenly we are in traffic and somebody behind us is, blowing his horn, our pranic body, it gets jarred, kind of. It absorbs the shock, kind of, and it gets distorted, right? Sometimes we hear screams or certain sounds. Maybe if you're walking around and you hear a dog making a very funny sound, in that fraction of a second, the pranic body gets distorted. So here there is no like or dislike. There is just sensitivity, the pure energy of sensitivity. Many times in the pranic body, dreams arise from blockages of prana in the nadis. And this is very important. And see, a lot of people go to the gym and they do a lot of physical exercises in the gym. But physical health does not guarantee pranic health. If I'm doing too much of bodybuilding, then I'm fixing my muscles. My muscles are no longer elastic. I'm fixing my muscles. So I may be physically a very, muscular person, but the blockages in the pranic body won't release in this life again. I've blocked them permanently. And you'll see many people, they are very obstinate, right? They have fixed ideas. And these are blockages in the pranic body. So yoga was more concerned with the pranic body rather than the physical body. Is the circulation of prana okay? Are there blockages in the nadi system? And as we move into the etheric body, we will feel these blockages, we will sense these blockages. And we will be able to, overcome these blockages, bring harmony and rhythm back into the, uh, etheric body, the pranic body. If there are blockages in the pranic body, then the quality of dreams won't be floating or, happy dreams. There will be more dreams of turbulence, as if the water is rising in a tidal wave or something of that sort. Lot of people, if you observe them when they are sleeping, they are very restless in their sleep. And restlessness is a sign of distortion in the pranic body. It has accumulated a lot of nonsense which we have gathered over there. And that is forming, because it is electrical in circuit, it is forming eddy currents inside, whirlpools inside. Now, before we move further, right, this pranic body must be healed. We must make an effort to heal the pranic body. And the first thing which the pranic body responds to is rhythm. And that is why the 3-step rhythmic breathing is very, very important. Because as we practice this 3-step rhythmic breathing, all the distortions in the pranic body start dissolving. The nadis will start opening. It is a water-like body, so it responds to waves. Because it is in the present moment, there is no intention in the pranic body. There is no desire to acquire this tomorrow. So there is no direction over there. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It doesn't want to achieve anything. Because the past is cut off, there is no memory over there. So the energy of sensitivity brings a very subtle inner enjoyment. I won't call it bliss or anand, but definitely a deep inner satisfaction and enjoyment if you can bring the pranic body into rhythm and balance. All negative emotions disrupt the field. I get angry on him, disrupt the field. I'm irritated, disrupt the field. It gets fragmented. And the pranic body affects attention a lot. So the more distortions in the pranic body, the more fragmented my attention is. The quality of my attention gets worse and worse. When we are in a certain, state of Yoga-Nidra, we can sense this pranic body, and if our breathing is in rhythm, we can feel it moving in waves up and down and up and down. And it gives us so much of peace, quiet, as if all the tensions have gone away and just the inner body is moving with the rhythm and our breathing. So the body can be sensed as a rhythm. There's a sensitivity of flow. There's a sensitivity of stillness. There's a sensitivity of flying as the pranic body becomes more and more rhythmic and harmonious. We can separate it a little from the physical body, right? And if you read Mr. Tawaria's Yoga Sutra, you'll see where he teaches you how to separate this body, keep it upright by the toes, right? and let it remain there the whole night as if somebody is guarding your body throughout the night. Right? So he gives that whole experiment of how to do it, the technique of how to do it in the Yoga Sutra. So rhythm belongs to the pranic body, enjoyment belongs to the astral body, and stillness belongs to the mental body. So it separates from the physical body and it can move around in psychological space. It is this pranic body when it gets a kind of coherence, right? It forms what is called what do you call a dream body, which goes into the astral world and allows us to experience the astral world. So the dream body is formed from material from the pranic body. Now if we take the pranic body as low, the astral body and the mental body, right? So the dream body is formed of this material, it enters the astral world, and the I, the feeling of I in the dream body comes from a higher source. So it helps an inner meeting ground of astral and the higher over there. But we must first repair our pranic bodies, and this will take a long time. For it, space is no barrier, distance is no barrier. It moves in a psychological field of vibration, and geography does not determine its location. I'll give you an example that it is in this area, but now through practice we have increased the vibrations of the pranic body, so it moves from the pranmay kosh to the manomay kosh. The vibrations have increased, so its geography changes on vibrations, not on space. Can you understand? Now, if we increase the vibrations of the what you call pranic body, then from the manomay kosh it will move towards the vignanmay kosh. So we can, and Tavariya has taken the energy of sensitivity right up to the divine. There is a sensitivity of the divine. So we can say there is a possibility of training that pranic body to go right up to the, because it is the body of sensitivity. Right? So as the vibration changes, the dream body changes, and the dream body goes higher and higher with higher vibrations. Now let us see what has a direct effect upon this pranic body. See, it's our whole inner journey of Yoga-Nidra will depend on creating a harmonized body over here. Right? Whether we can create it and use that as a vehicle to experience higher states of consciousness. It is this body which is experienced by science in lucid dreams and the practitioners of lucid dreams. I forgot to tell you the story of how all this started. And I think it was around 1990 or so. I was reading a book called Exploring the Worlds of Lucid Dreaming. I think it was by Stephen LaBerge. It was his second book. He had come out with one very famous book, which was a world bestseller at that time, called Lucid Dreaming, and this was his second book, I think, at that time. And many a time I used to go to Tawariya Sahib's home, and he would not be there, and I would have to wait over there. So I used to carry this book in my, some other book or any book in my, shoulder bag, right? And I would sit there and read. And he asked me, what are you reading? So I said, this is the book. So he said, leave this book over here. So then after a week, he gave me the book back. And from that book, he wrote 3 sets of notes on Yoga-Nidra. So if anybody wants those notes, they are available. The final note he wrote was on what do you call conscious death, how to separate the bodies at the moment of death. And the 4 notes on Yoga-Nidra, 3 on Yoga-Nidra and 1 on conscious death. The 4 notes on Yoga-Nidra he had written. And those are available. If anybody wants them, we can email them also, right? So the journey started from there. That is more than 30 years ago. And now one of the things which affects the pranic body very deeply is mantra. Mantra transforms the particles of the etheric field. It transforms the particles of the etheric body. It reorganizes it. So in the daytime, I've had a fight with him. I've got into a kind of quarrel with him. And my etheric body is totally blocked. It's totally distorted, disturbed. And as I practice Omkar in the early morning, all the etheric particles, they get rearranged, right? They come back into rhythm and harmony. So mantra is very, very important in what do you call? In this camp, specially, I have put emphasis on the ukar. Because the ukar has a very profound effect on the etheric body, and that because we are practicing Yoga-Nidra in this camp, right? I have put a lot of emphasis on not the akar, the ukar. That, right? So mantra reorganizes the vibrations of the pranic body. And it doesn't mean that we have to use Omkar. We can use any mantra which we like, but with my personal, what do you call, experience is that Ukar has a very powerful effect on the pranic body. Second thing is colors. Colors have a deep effect. And if you're doing the prism exercise, please do 5 minutes with the yellow color. And in the yellow color, use the pitambari color, the one which signifies Krishna, the Lord Krishna. Use that color. That has a very powerful effect. Of course, the prism exercise itself has a very powerful effect. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody is sleeping, and you can try this, and if you see that person is restless in his sleep, you can take some attar, right, and you apply it to his pillow. And it's more than possible, after 5-10 minutes, you'll come back and you'll see he's sleeping peacefully. He's sleeping peacefully. So, perfumes have a dramatic effect on the etheric body. So, if you're if you want to practice Yoga-Nidra and go into the depths of Yoga-Nidra, right, you can use perfumes. They're very, very helpful. They immediately change the pranic field. The pranic field changes immediately. perfumes are a form of communication between the physical and the astral. Many disciples have used perfumes to communicate with the teachers who have left the body and gone. And the perfume becomes a communication with the teacher. And the teacher, if he wants, if he has left the body, he can take etheric material and for some, what you call, momentary time, recreate a body and come into the disciple's dream with that etheric body and communicate with the body. And that is very possible, right? And in many, what you call, different religions or experiences, we see this where the teacher comes back and communicates with the disciple, right? Today being Christmas, right? Christ came back and he communicated with Saint Peter, right? So he must have formed taken this etheric material, formed a body and entered the disciple's dream through that etheric material. Mantra not only harmonizes the etheric material, it also makes it luminous. It starts reflecting light. It starts emanating light. So when we are able to make a coherent body out of that etheric material, right? So we will see in the dream that body has a different, what you call, luminosity from the other figures in the dream, and that is how we will differentiate. You wanted to say something on smell you put over here.
The question is that why does smell have such a profound impact on us? We look at all the five senses. Out of all of those, why does smell have an impact compared to others? And the reason for this is because smell or olfactory sensing, that's the only sense that goes directly to the receptors in the brain. All the other senses, they will first go through the thalamus will process them, and then they will reach their respective perception centers in the brain. And that direct communication with the brain is what makes smells so powerful and immediately transformative.
So you can apply some perfume to your pillow or whatever when you're practicing, right? On and off, I use a little bit of sandalwood or lavender or something. Mr. Tavaria loved to have a bath with Yardley lavender soap. So I use quite a bit of lavender perfume at times. Now, another thing which has a profound effect on the etheric body is music. It has a very deep effect on the etheric body and it harmonizes the etheric body, right? I won't comment on any kind of music. That is up to you, to whatever music you listen to, right? But music has a very deep effect on the etheric body and it harmonizes the etheric particles, right? And that is why mantra also is a kind of sound wave which we are creating, and that helps us to move into deeper states of Yoga-Nidra. So now the final part is of the etheric body is nature. It loves nature. So when we go for a walk in the garden or the park, but you have to be in the sensitivity of nature. So you're sitting on the garden bench and you're listening to the birds or listening to the sound of water flowing or just sensing the breeze. Or you can go out in the fields and look at the crops growing in the fields, if there's corn or wheat or something growing in the fields, and you can sense the movement of the stalks, try to become one with it. So you feel what is happening when the wind touches the, what do you call, stalks of wheat. You sense it as if it is touching you, and you feel you're taking nourishment from the ground and all that. So it has a profound effect on the etheric field, nature, moving into nature, right? So you can, every day actually, it's always good to go into nature for some time. Just, if nothing else, sit under the open sky for some time, right? And allow because grounding has a deep effect on the etheric body. It's an electrical body, right? So if you, even walking a few feet without shoes or something, it grounds everything. All the negativity gets dispersed in the ground. So that has a deep effect on the etheric body, or just sitting under the sky. The thing is that we must use the energy of sensitivity. So we don't go into nature with our mobile phones or thing, right? Right. So we try to sense each part, and in that sensing, we are sensing the rhythms of nature are entering the etheric body and, what do you call, harmonizing it. So this is our first step, is to repair the etheric body. And the etheric body, once certain circuits get, what do you call, crystallized, right? Wrong crystallization, which Gurdjieff calls, they get crystallized in the etheric body, then it becomes very difficult to break those circuits. So very important.
One quick question on the etheric body. Sometimes late in the afternoon or the evening, we'll sense that our attention is too fragmented. We are not able to focus on things. Or even after a certain event or meetings where we've taken in some negative impressions. So could that be because of some distortions in the etheric field?
See, etheric field, what is it? Energy of
Sensitivity.
sensitivity. So the minute we move from thinking to sensing, we are thinking all the time. We are chattering all the time, right? So the minute we move from thinking to sensing, right? Suddenly everything will start arranging itself. Whether you're sensing music, whether you're sensing nature, whether you're sensing mantra. See, I'm doing the Omkar, right? But in Omkar, I'm thinking and verbalizing, then it's not sensing. I mean, it's not really going to, what do you call, have a profound effect on my etheric body, right? It is, I'm saying the Omkar and sensing the vibrations. I'm sensing the waves. I'm moving from the, what do you call, the physical sound to the subtle sounds inside, the subtle effects. Then it has an effect, right? But I'm doing the Omkar and planning what I have to do in office tomorrow, and, and whether my girlfriend will come to meet me or not. And, right, it's not going to have that kind of effect. It's better than doing anything else, right? So I'm not. So even if this monkey is chattering all the time, do it. Do it. right? Don't but do your practices. But if you can do your practices with sensitivity, then it's totally different, very totally different, right? So even if you're doing the refining exercises, you sense the rhythm and you flow in the rhythm. Allow yourself 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and slowly you within the physical you will sense the movement of something else is moving in rhythm and balance, and everything is getting organized inside, right? And right, but if I'm doing the exercises and thinking what he said to me yesterday, then it's not going to really have that effect. But still, it'll have a physical effect, right? It'll have a physical effect.
Sorry, one more question. Many times we notice that certain muscles in our body are always tensed. The back, the shoulders, the stomach. Is that because there are distortions that have been stored in the etheric field at those
Yeah,
locations?
very much, very much. Because what is tension? What is tension?
Accumulation of a charge in the
See,
muscles.
just as blood flows in the blood vessels, right? Electricity flows in the nerves. Electricity flows in the nerves. It is the field of that electricity which is giving us the etheric field, right? So electricity is flowing. Now, if one nerve is blocked, then electricity forms a self, what do you call, feeding current at the same place. They call it an eddy current. They call it an eddy current. So there's a distortion in the electrical field of the body, right? There's a distortion in the electrical field, and that results as tension in the muscles. So when we, in Yoga-Nidra, when we are moving through the body, what they call a Shavayatra in yoga, when we are actually removing the distortions, because we are relaxing the muscles, we are removing the distortions in the electrical field. And that is why we start first with getting rid of the muscular tension. But the muscles have to be also trained to be able to digest higher tension, and that is why we do the tense and relax exercises. So every day we are training the muscles to be able to absorb higher tension. So tension comes in the muscles absorb that tension. There is no distortion in the field. Some people are very, very sensitive. Small thing you say about them, they feel, what do you call, touch me not types, what do we call. In Gujarati, I don't know what we call them, right? Right, the touch me not types, right? They have very weak digestion of negativity in their muscles, right? And it doesn't mean that it could be, what do you call, they could be very muscular people, it doesn't matter. But what is their power of inner psychic digestion, right? And if they're holding that in the muscles, then we relax the muscles and let it go. So we see there is only one, like you have a thermometer to measure the temperature. What is the thermometer that a person has progressed spiritually? The power of endurance, the power to endure another person's negativity. But somebody throws a little negative and I blast out completely, then that person has not progressed at all, right? Ramdullah Bapu used to call it titiksha, the power of endurance, right? So if we just react immediately, then we are not able to digest, we are not able to absorb. Yeah.
Yeah. You said about refining, sensitivity during refining. When we do in the nature, it always gives a good feeling. When we put out a scent stick or a kapoor, it gives a little better feeling. Once we had a chance of doing refining in a very good surround system. It was a beautiful music system. it was my first experience that, the refining music is coming from 360 degree. And I felt it that, the chatter went immediately down, and the impact of music was much better. And that day it was a very great feeling with the music coming in, because the chatter went down. It never happened in the nature that much. With a scent also, we felt good, but the music on a surround or in a headphone, it kind of uh, changed.
Use music. Mr. Computer Guy likes music, so it's good. Good. Use music. Yeah. Give him the.
Certain physical injuries, or say overuse of muscle, or some injury which has happened, can they also be sort of relieved by working on the etheric body?
Yeah. And many times as we grow old, right, we have to perform certain operations. Like we may have to remove an organ in the body, or woman has to remove her uterus, what they call as a hysterectomy, right? And the etheric field feels the absence of the, what do you call, organ. It feels the absence of the organ. So a certain electrical circuit does develop in the electrical field. And through this Yoga-Nidra, we heal that. We heal that. And in a way, it's very, very important, because time repeats, sanskar repeats. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? In the sense that, supposing I have a gallbladder problem and I remove the gallbladder, right? So that empty space over there still has a distortion in the etheric field, right? Now, if I hold on to the distortion, that is going to be carried forward. So even though I've removed the gland from the body, I want to repair the etheric field. I want to repair the etheric field. I don't want to carry that on. But that will also, now try to understand that problem has arisen because I've held a thought, a feeling over here for a long period of time. Maybe a thought of revenge, or maybe a thought of something else I've held over here for a long period of time, and that has released some kind of what you call chemicals, which have gone to give me this organ disease, and I've removed the organ, right? So by repairing the etheric field, it will also work on those thoughts which created the disease in the first place, right? So you don't carry it forward. Don't carry it. So very important that way.
Uh, while prac-
Yeah.
while practicing like color or perfume or music, like any of these, like maybe a painter is more into color and all those. Sometimes it happens like after listening a certain music or getting into nature, day-to-day life activities like to-do list goes down, like it becomes slow. Otherwise, like we are in a schedule, like I'll complete this and then I'll do this, then do this. And once we are into this, I felt like the life becomes little slow in a vyavharik way. So is it okay to balance it or let it be slow?
You have to balance it. And it's very difficult, especially in the beginning, because you want to be in nature. And to carry that relaxation which you have acquired in nature into your daily activities becomes very difficult. And it needs practice. Uh, for a few of us, who lived with Ramdula Re Bapu, he was a master of daily activity, what we call in Gujarati as Vevar. Right? That mastery I have not seen in anyone else, that mastery. He would be totally relaxed inside, and he could bring total involvement in each and every small act of daily living. And he could do this simultaneously, both the levels together. Right? And that was the beauty, that he never taught us any meditation, he never taught us any technique, he never gave us any lecture on any kind of knowledge or of the astral body or this body. He just taught us by everyday activities. I'll just give you a small example. How he brought, a kind of celebration in small things. So, some people were doing shram today, right? So, he had this thing of planting saru trees. I think he planted nearly 100 saru trees in a small area in the ashram. And he would wake us sometimes in the middle of the night and tell us to start digging holes for the trees. Right? And this was his style, to make you angry and to make you upset. This was his style. So one day I was coming early in the morning, and he had not only planted all those saru trees, but he had tied red ribbons to each of them. He was decorating the trees as if you decorate a young girl. Can you see the application in daily living? That application of your inner, not just life has been given to us by God, but can we make this life better than what God has given us? So God gives us a tree, but can we make that tree better than what nature has given us? And each and every of those 100 trees were tied with red ribbons, and he would look after them as if he was looking after a young child. Can you get it? So it takes that kind of understanding, where we bring spirituality to normal life, right? And everything which we are doing in life, if we can add the energy of creativity, right? So every small thing we do with creative. If I want to put this, I don't just put it like this. I try to put it with a kind of consciousness. Can you understand? So there's a small creativity in every action of life. And that allows us to bring that peace which we have experienced in nature to our daily living. Right? But if we keep on want our daily living to go in the same old mechanical way, it is not possible. We have to bring the energy of creativity into daily living.
And second point is yesterday we had a question on music. So while listening the music or doing any certain such creative activity, if we get into a kind of a state of a trance, should we have a guidance of a guru, or should we have a faith and confidence in a big brother and we should get into that trance? That's okay to get into that.
See, there's deep relaxation and there's trance. Trance is deeper than relaxation. So it's a beautiful state to go in. See, if our intention is clear of why we are doing it, then it is my personal experience is that the Guru is always there. He may not be there in form, but something is always guiding us. So there's nothing to be frightened of. On this journey, there is nothing to be frightened of. There are inner experiences, different situations, right? But there must be that inner attitude of surrender, right? So in the trance, if you hold on to the I, the Guru is not going to come. But if you allow the I to dissolve with the trance and you surrender to it totally, then there is always guidance right over there at that right moment. You don't have to go looking for the Guru. Right? The Guru is not a person. See, the Guru is an experience. Everybody who has had that experience and comes back to share that experience is the Guru. He's not a person. That experience is the Guru. I don't know if I'm coming across. Right? So somebody, in someone, the grace of that experience has descended, what we call avtaran. Right? And that person has experience. Now he wants to share it. So it is not his. It has come from a higher source. He does not own it. The minute he owns it, it's the end of it. Can you get it? But that experience is the Guru, and that experience, it is shared by certain people. And that experience is always there. It is like a cloud. Every practice you do, wherever you are, it is always there, just there, not even round the corner. Right over there it is. But if you say, I am doing it, then it won't help. But the minute the I dissolves, the help is there.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
While doing prism exercise, say there's not much light because of the cloudy day or something. So when I'm doing it on a yellow paper, so instead of absorbing that yellowness, there is some more of dark absorption. So should I be doing it at that time or not?
Don't worry about it. Just look at the yellow.
Oh, I'm
Just
looking
look
at
at
the yellow only, but that's
See, take interruptions as a stepping stone to go deeper.
fine.
Just look at the yellow. Right?
Thank you.
Don't worry. But do the white prism exercise.
Both.
Right.
Both.
So it is about sometimes I get sleep deprived, and then I try for 3 SRB, then even Gayatri, and then I don't know how I switch over to recollect my past good memories when I sleep. It is about the sound sleep, and then I recollect the past good memories, and then I don't know how I enter into sound sleep. There is lighter smile on the face, and I enter. So is this right, sir?
You're using the same technique. No, you're bringing memories onto the screen of the mind and using those memories to go to sleep. Bring good memories.
Yeah.
Bring good memories.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. See, the pranic body is very responsible for the quality of sleep. So even 1 minute of doing the exercises, so you do 6 exercises, 6 minutes, it realigns the pranic body, right? And the quality of sleep will change. The quality of sleep will change. Go further. Right. Now, if we have come this far, then we make an entry into the astral field. Now, there are some basic differences between the etheric dream and the astral dream. The etheric dream is always the present moment. In the astral dream, the past starts opening up. Now, in the etheric dream, objects are sensed. They are not seen as images. You don't see faces, right? But the etheric dream can be used as a vehicle to clean the pranic body, to clean the nadis, to break up knots, right? And prepare the mind for higher vibrations. Right? In the astral dream, emotions take form. It is the emotions are looking for a form to express themselves, and they take the form from our own memories. They take the form from our own memories. It is emotion looking for form, the astral world. We will see places, faces of people, dramatic scenes. We will encounter people, and in higher astral dreams there will be very, very strong symbolism. Very strong symbolism. Right? Everything will come in symbols in those dreams. More like the yantric dreams we'll be having of yantra. So etheric dreams are what you call enjoyable in the sense they are very peaceful, they are neutral. There's a subtle bliss involved in them. Sometimes we have seen their reactions to the day's events. But astral dreams are very intense because emotions are coming up. Emotions are taking different forms of different peoples. Emotions are taking the forms of animals. Emotions are taking the form of symbols. All our experiential memory is floating up. Are we clear on experiential memory? What is experiential memory? See, I get angry on him. Who is experiencing the anger? Him or me? Me. Right? So, I may think I have put him in his place and given him a good piece of my mind. Right? But actually, I have lived that anger. It is I who have lived the anger. The anger is not what you call been left in his subconscious mind as a pattern or his unconscious mind as a pattern. That it reinforces the pattern in my own mind. Right? So we have event memory and experiential memory. Right? So there's memory of events that I met him yesterday is a memory of an event. But yesterday I met him and I got angry is memory of an experience. Am I coming across? So this what we call sanskars, memory patterns, is nothing but experiential memory. Experiential memory. And that lies in our unconscious minds. Some lie in subconscious, some lie in the unconscious. Right? And they are vibrating there. And they are looking to express themselves. Right? When we talk about the events of life, it is those sanskars which Tauriya Sahib calls as our structure of acceptance. They are inviting the incoming impulses. So we think we decide the events of our life. It is those, what you call incoming impulses, which decide the events of our life. Please understand the depth of event. In the sense, I have no money. So I feel that tomorrow if I get some money, I'll be happy. Right? I'll be happy. But if I'm holding on to a pattern of pain inside, right? I'm holding on to a lot of pain inside, which is vibrating. So tomorrow I may come into quite a bit of money, but is that money going to bring me happiness or pain? Can you understand? Right? There used to be some beautiful movies. I can't remember the names, but one or two of them, I remember the theme very well. One was where one person wins, in the old days, I'm talking about 40 years ago, he wins $1 million lottery, and within 3 months he gambles it all away. So see, holding money or holding attention, I'm not saying that be a miser, but the quality of holding money is also the quality of holding attention, because attention is spiritual money. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So, and then there was another movie, I don't remember the name of that also, where this person marries and they win a jackpot and the wife runs away with all the money, right? So, some beautiful old movies. You don't get to see them today, right? So, this all our experiential memory, all the emotions, all the feelings that are recorded in our what you call subconscious and unconscious mind, they start looking for form, right? In normal life, they are looking for event. In dream, they are looking for form. And they come up, and the whole astral world of dreams is created. Now, here I want to add a little. In the sense, in normal life, we go into sleep and we remain for a few minutes in the etheric world and then move into the astral world. We hardly remain in the etheric world. We hardly remain in the pranmay kosh. And that is why I've given you this morning practice. Right? So in the morning, when you're waking up, it is that pranic body which is bringing prana to all the organs of the body. Pause over there. Pause over there. You see, it usually lasts for a few minutes and it's gone. But if we can pause and elongate this thing, then we bring steadiness into the pranic body. We bring a kind of awareness in the pranic body. And the pranic body then becomes ready to enter the astral body consciously. Otherwise, in our normal sleep, we just go over that, what you call, the pranic body and move straight into it. And then the dreams, the dreams are all messed up dreams. And we are not really aware in those dreams. It is the creation of the etheric body that allows us to be aware in dreams. So, etheric awareness, awareness of the pranic body, it is the doorway to what you call higher dreams, higher Yoga-Nidra. Every feeling, every emotion I have in the day, it brushes our etheric field and distorts the etheric field. So, once we are in the Manomay Kosh, the image is not causing the feeling is causing the image. So, all the images which are coming out are coming from our own experiential memory. And the key to be aware in dreams over there is to be aware, to hold the etheric field, to hold the pranmay kosh for longer periods of time before entering into deeper sleep. Right? So even at night when you go to sleep, try to hold that in-between period before going to sleep. Tawarya Sahib had given us a mantra to do over there. I don't know if anyone is doing it now. But he had said, recite the mantra Om Satyam Param Dhimahi couple of times in that space, right? I want the truth, I want the absolute truth, and I meditate upon that absolute truth. That absolute truth is Satyam. So the third dimension of dreaming, the physical body, the pranmay kosh, the pranic body, and the third dimension of dreaming is the manomay kosh or the astral body. Time becomes plastic over here. Time becomes plastic over here in the sense that the brain digests time. Right? So I may see myself as a young child and suddenly I see myself as a grown-up person. I have not seen the whole process from what do you call, young days to grown up, but I sort of accept it, I digest it, and the young child has grown up. This is there is a kind of transition in the dreaming. One scene is a young child, one scene is a grown up, right? I've stopped seeing Hindi movies, right? I hardly see Hindi movies, but 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I used to see Hindi movies. And one of my favorite scenes was the Amitabh Bachchan scene, right? And Amitabh Bachchan would be a young boy, and all the police are running behind him. He has stolen something, right? And suddenly he's running away, and then the scene comes. Amitabh, the big man, is running towards you, and the police are. And we have not seen him growing up from a young child to a big man, but the director has arranged the scene in such a way that we feel or we have understood he has grown up into a. So this is the same way time works in dreams. It is plastic time. So scenes change in the dream, and we feel that 30 years have passed or 40 years have passed in this way. In the what you call astral world, the vibrations are much more subtle, much more frequent, very soft vibrations, right? Finer images. And if you have really worked on the pranamaya kosh, then it is that etheric material which goes to form the images. The emotion comes from a memory pattern, and it what do you call sculpts the etheric material into a form. And it is, if we have worked on it, then the images are very luminous, very colorful. And this is the period in a sadhak's life, in a student's life, when he's moving into you, which is the most romantic period. The most romantic period. This is the best period of our whole journey. The best period. Once we progress towards truth is very dry. Right, the top of the mountain is dry, but it is the valleys and the rivers and the meadows which give you the scenery. And here, all the valleys and the meadows open up in the astral world, and it's a beautiful place to experience. And once you have gone beyond that experience, it never comes back. It's the end of it. That's the end of it. So try to remain here for some time. Don't be in a hurry to progress further. So this is the usual dream world of what everybody experiences. Deep suppressions come out, psychological suppressions come out, right? And science calls this the world of hypnagogic imagery. Hypnagogic imagery. We may meet people, some people whom we don't know also, maybe of long ago. We may revisit our childhood. And like I said, as we move into higher, then the dreams become more symbolic. So it is our sanskars which are creating the imagery. It constructs the dream, it paints the dream, right? And it gives a story to the dream. But everything is of the past. There is no future over here. Everything is of the past. Now, when this dream world starts opening up, the first thing is for a couple of months, maybe 3 to 6 months, don't do anything. Just observe. Try to understand what is happening. Try to, when a movie is made, right? There is the events of the movie, then there's dubbing of the sound, and then there's editing, right? Has the sound and the events and everything been done properly, right? So there will be figures, the scenes will come from somewhere, sounds will come from somewhere, somebody will be talking something which has no meaning at all. And it takes time to be able to edit all this and to understand all this. Otherwise, suddenly you'll come out of the dream and say, oh, I saw my past life. Oh, I did this. I experienced. We are not, what you call, interested in what is happening in the dream. We are interested in observing and understanding the whole science behind what is happening. So we have a whole storehouse of experiential memories, some of them with deep shocks inside, and all this will start flowing out. And if we understand it, then we can slowly rearrange events. Rearrange events. If the dream stops and we want to go back into the old dream, right? Like I told you, rotate the etheric body anti-clockwise, and the old dream will come back and you'll be able to enter the old dream. Even though time is compressed in the sense that 30 years could be a few seconds, everything happens in microseconds over here. Right? So even though time is compressed, it is still past, present, and imagination of the future. Right? So it is still linear time in a way. It's still linear time in a way. To be able to project the future not as the imagination, we have to move into higher bodies and to make the vibrations more subtle to be able to move the higher bodies. There things vibrate at a much faster sequence. But once we have progressed into observing over here and slowly, if we can come to a state where we can create the dream and dissolve the dream at the same time, and the astral world, so I'll divide it into two parts. The lower part where we see images and figures, and the higher part where everything is symbolic. Everything is symbolic. Now, as we move into the higher paths and we move away from images, but this means that a lot of our memory has been cleared up. A lot of memory has been cleaned up. Right? So, if we are holding on to past hurts, suppressions, right? Then we have to figure that out first before moving into higher fields. Now, in higher fields, the astral becomes a kind of womb, and it starts receiving messages from something higher. And we'll go deeper into this when we do the, what you call, brain waves. When we do the brain waves, we'll go deeper into this, right? So, but what comes from the higher does not come as a clear picture. It comes as a flash. It comes as a flash. And if we have done our training properly in this field, where we can edit, understand, piece together things, then what comes as a flash, we can interpret what it is saying. Otherwise, we won't be able to interpret what it is saying. So the higher will come in as an imagery, as a form of a symbol. It could come as a universal form. We'll go into those universal forms. And this is very delicate to be in that field, because when something of the higher is descending into the lower, if we kill it, right? So kill it in the sense that I say this is all nonsense, right? So that is one way of killing it. Right? right? This is all nonsense. Then it is going to take a long time for it to come again. And what is the second thing? Which everybody does. How do I kill it? How do I kill it? Where the minute I go to tell anyone else, then it's going to come after a very long time. So now you're in your own personal world. You can't tell anyone. Once you start receiving something from the higher, the more you do contemplation upon it, the more you hold it, it will explain itself. You don't have to go and tell. The minute I go and tell her, hey, I experienced this in my dream, my ego has eaten it up. Can you get what I'm trying to tell? What to say? So, logic and reasoning will kill it, but also telling somebody else will kill it. And many times there could be flashes which come from the causal body or even higher, right? So something can communicate over there, and that communication comes in flashes, and that there is no what you call reasoning over there. It is a choiceless communication. You just know that this has to be done. There is no this possibility or this possibility over there. It is just that this has to be done over there. Mr. Tawaria calls that as intuition. The flashes of intuition start over here. But initially we won't be able to interpret them, we won't be able to understand them, and we'll just filter them out, right? But don't kill them that this is all nonsense. The minute we say it is all nonsense, it's the end of it. Now, the higher communicates to the astral in different ways. One way is flashes of light and understanding. The other way is in the form of universal forms, which Carl Jung called as archetypal forms, right? So there will be different, a whole universal library of forms over there, right? And many artists have been able to penetrate this world of what you call universal forms. From there, take a form and create a painting or create a piece of art. So, you may meet a radiant figure, you may feel you're entering a temple, you may have some higher communication in words, something in meaning, right? You may feel that you're looking at a whole city at one time, or you're entering some luminous space, but it is the higher trying to communicate. See, in the astral world, the dreams were created out of the light of the etheric body. When the higher communicates, you will feel that this light is of a different kind. It is coming from some foreign shore, right? From some foreign shore, right? As if it brings a tremendous clarity, tremendous intensity. And when you wake up from the dream, you won't remember it as a dream. You will say it really happened. It really happened. And that is a higher form of communication. And mainly these, what do you call, communications are for guidance and correction. Never expect them to tell you what the tomorrow's lottery number is going to be. It's not possible, right? I once stayed a week with a hypnotist. He was a very good hypnotist and he used to hypnotize me every day, right? And he says, I enjoy hypnotizing you because when I ask you questions, all sorts of things come out, right? So he used to hypnotize me and all that. Anyway, so the next day we decided to go to the races. Right? So he hypnotized me, and he asked who will win in this race, who will win in this race. And I gave him the what do you call, horses who would come in each race, right? And next day we went to the races and none of the horses came, right? So we lost in all the races, right? So the higher is not going to communicate you some number of some lottery or something. It is not possible. It is not possible, right? But it can give you guidance. It can tell you what path is right for you, or it can open light on a certain path and you know that you have to go move in this direction in life. So the astral is the great gateway to the higher, and from the astral we can move into the what you call mental world. Between the mental and the astral is the Vijnanmay Kosh, and that is the universal library of archetypal forms. Oh. Now, this Vijnanmay Kosh is, in the sense, it's very beautiful in the sense that on this side is I. To go higher, you have to drop the I. To go higher, you have to drop the I. So, I think we'll take this now in the evening, right? We'll stop here with 5 more minutes. Any more questions anyone has, right? We'll enter the Vijnanmay Kosh in the afternoon session, right?
Sir, I have a question regarding the Yoga-Nidra practices.
Yeah.
Yesterday evening when you were guiding, so after pre-sensing and the relaxing the body, I went into like the pranic sensation was happening. And suddenly there was a pull from the legs, like somebody is like pulling. That kind of a sensation started and still it is there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not able.
Do some grounding exercise. So
Okay.
if there's some grass or something anywhere, just walk for some time in the sun without shoes or socks or something. So everything gets grounded, right? Sit in nature for some time. Nature heals the etheric body, right? So if there's some distortion, right, it will immediately go away.
But after that, I'm not able to enter into the, like you guiding to the astral.
Don't
That
be
was
in a
not.
hurry.
No, it's not about hurry.
Right?
But I wanted to understand what is the cause. So that's what.
Yeah, it's maybe little distortion happened. There maybe have some pain or some suppressed emotion distorted. Don't worry about it. Just go into nature. Here there's a lot of
Yeah,
nature,
sure.
so you can just.
Thank you.
But be in sensitivity. It'll go on its own, right? And block your right nostril from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, behind. Can you give it to?
Namaskar, Rajan Bhai. My question was about manifestations. Which level does manifestations work? Because sometimes you manifest something in your meditation and it works. So
Every level has its own form of manifestation, right? So in the dream world, there could be a certain kind of manifestation. Is the famous example which I give is of that lady whose son was a mountaineer, and he would go mountaineering and not come back for many months. And in one dream, she saw him falling off a mountain. But he was climbing and he falls on a ledge and he slipped off that ledge and he fell down. And So she was shocked. Then the same dream came again the next day. So next day when he was falling, she put her hands over there. Right. And that dream she repeated for so many months. When the son came back, he told her a very funny thing happened. I was on the ledge and there was no support because I was leading the team. And I slipped off the ledge. But at that time, such a powerful gust of wind came that it gave me a moment to catch the ledge and climb up again. So even in astral dreams, you can manifest. But the intention must be clear when you're manifesting. You can visualize what you want in the astral dream and you can create it over there. If you create it, visualize a kind of river of life. And like, we put ashes of somebody who has died into the river and that you see you're on your own path now. We lived together for so many years. It was very beautiful and now it's time to part, right? And so just, this is my manifestation and I'm putting it into the river of life. If I deserve it, let it come to me, right? We don't want to manifest anything which we don't deserve. Right? So just put it there and leave it. If in the daytime, anytime you remember your manifestation, don't think about it. Just look at it, maybe look at it with light or touch it with light and drop it immediately. Right? So you can manifest. I usually say put an intention of thankfulness. Right? So thankfulness invites thankfulness. Everything is in thankfulness. Right? So you put an manifestation of thankfulness. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you give it to him at the point?
So when you are saying Omkar mantra, there is a particular vibration, like when you're trying to, in classical, say sa, sa-re-ga-ma-pa-da-ni-sa, sa. So there is a particular vibration to it. You're trying to match the sur. So naturally we should say Omkar, or we should try to match with the sa which we are trying to match in classical music.
See, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. So, this Omkar was taught by Mr. Tavaria. So, he never used any Tanpura or classical, sa to do the Omkar. But when he said the Omkar, it was very powerful, very, very powerful, his Omkar. My personal understanding is that Sare Ga Ma Pa. Pa is one sound which pleases everybody. It is called the perfect fifth. Right? So, even Beethoven wrote a symphony on the fifth of Beethoven, which they call the Fifth Symphony, where death becomes a pleasing experience. That is why it's called the perfect fifth, right? In Western music, what will pa be? Do, re, mi, fa, 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 fa. The perfect fifth. Soul. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Soul. Soul. S-O-L. Soul. Right. So, when we are doing the ukar, we are trying to create the perfect fifth. And that is very, very powerful. That is very, very powerful. That if you can, that brings joy even in the moment of death. It allows for joy in the moment of death. So, when we are doing were you there in the morning when you are doing the Omkar? Were you there in the morning when we did the Omkar? You were not there. You were there yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday I was there.
So when we do the ukar, that is we are trying to create the perfect fifth, pa. So it goes pa, sa, sa, like the, what do you call, Tanpura, right? So you can use the music of a Tanpura also to do it. Om, right? So you can use that. That is and that brings great joy. It arranges the particles of the etheric body into great harmony, right? It creates a lot of resonance. So you can, when you move it through the nostrils, right, it creates a lot of resonance. And that resonance is very powerful. It destroys memory patterns, it harmonizes the bodies, and it will bring more vivid and more, what do you call, meaningful dreams. Right? So but initially don't use the harmonium, just do the Omkar, get it properly, and then you can use the harmonium also. Sorry, Tanpura also, not harmonium, the Tanpura also.
I have not understood very clearly, so I'm just repeating. Instead of using the sa, I use the fifth pa.
Pa, sa, sa. The Tanpura goes that way.
Huh.
Pa, sa, sa.
So I use the pa for om.
So when we say ah, we are saying sa. Ah is sa. Right? But when we say oo, we are saying pa. Right? So when you say ah, then we are moving from sa to pa. Right? So that pa we take it, elongate it, pa, sa, sa. So we'll go Aum. So it goes like the harmonium, pa, sa, sa. That is the perfect fifth. It is the perfect fifth. When you touch it, you have touched a different frequency. So even in music, when that perfect fifth, it penetrates into you, for that moment you go into and it's, arey, wow, beautiful music. The aha comes when you're listening to that music. That is when the perfect fifth penetrates you.
So this we can achieve both when we achieve in the music as well while doing Omkar. We can achieve both.
Yeah. I won't use the word achieve. It's more an egoistic word, but we can train ourselves to do it. To
touch that vibration.
Touch that vibration, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uncle, this is question from my sister. So she asked what happens to dream body when in our waking state?
No, it merges back into the astral material. It dissolves into the etheric form. It is created out of etheric form. It goes back into etheric form.
Okay.
But you may feel in your normal living that somebody else is interacting with everybody and I am looking. There could be an inner separation in your normal living from morning to evening. And that could come with the experience of the dream body. So I feel that Rajan is talking to you, but I am looking at Rajan. Can you get it? So that could come with the experience of the dream body. But that separation should happen actually. Should happen.
In our waking state, if we are not aware, like we are dreaming, we are daydreaming. So that is not happening with the dream body?
There's no dream body in daydreaming. It is a monologue. I'm talking to myself. There are no two people. In daydreaming, there are no two people. I am just enjoying the dream. If I am observing from outside, then there are two people. Can you create a conscious daydream? Then it's possible. But in daydreaming, you're identified with the dream. But still, daydreaming is better than brooding. It's good to daydream. Right? Be in a palace or something. Right? You've been to Fatehpur Sikri? You must go to Fatehpur Sikri. For a daydream, is the best place. In the afternoon, Emperor Akbar used to go to sleep. So you see his bed over there, and there's a beautiful pond, huge pond outside his room. And that pond used to be filled with rose flowers. And you see all the screens, they are arranged in a certain angle. So the wind comes in, goes over the rose flowers in the pond and Akbar is sleeping, and right now that is a daydream. That is a beautiful daydream. You just want to have a daydream that will harmonize your etheric body also. Huh?
Rajan,
Huh.
can two people be in the same dream simultaneously?
Means
Something like a dream is created and some guiding person or someone
the
compared
guidance.
to the guru can take you to the another dream.
Yeah.
Something like a dream within a dream.
Right. Very possible. Very possible. Also, it happens. Not just one dream. He can make you see 6 and 7 dreams at the same time. Dream within dream within dream.
And how to work when you enter into the multiple layers of dream and suddenly the fear comes up, like if you lost in that dream.
First, work on fear. Right? Surrender. Nothing is going to happen. Right? And in that space, when you surrender, guidance is just there, right there for you. What form it will take, don't worry about. It may come in some other form. It doesn't mean you're going to see your beautiful guru over there. He may come in some other form. It may come in some other form. Right? And don't worry about, but the guidance will come there. So it may not come in physical form also. But the key is to surrender. Just give up. Let go.
Thank you.
Huh? Right.
So, in Ukar, if there is movement of tongue, then am I doing it wrong?
No.
My tongue is moving.
Doesn't matter. Don't speak.
No, it is going back. So,
Yeah.
is it wrong?
Don't take it back.
It automatically.
Yeah. So then let it touch the palate, but touch the middle of the tongue to the palate. Don't take it back like this. Let the middle of the tongue touch the top of the palate like this, and you'll feel the vibrations moving from the middle of the tongue into the palate, into the Brahmarandra.
Yes.
Into the Brahmarandra.
I can even feel something here moving.
Yeah.
So, it's okay.
Okay. The tongue is the shivling. This is the temple. And you're creating the Omkar, and the, what do you call, the vibrations are moving up through the palate. All right. Palate we call as Talu. Right? And it is entering the Brahmarandra, the residence of Shiva. His bungalow. Right? Okay, we'll stop over here. Right? Thank you. We'll meet at 4:30 in the afternoon.